Long ago, when the world was bright and full of stories, an evil wizard gained the power to touch the face of God. Narrativa, goddess of stories and weaver of our world, banished him to the void, but not before he stole a piece of her divine essence. With this newfound power, the wizard lay a dread curse upon all the world, the Glyph Purge, which struck from the minds of all mortals the knowledge of how to read and write. Now, all that stand between the Isle of Meotia and an age of endless ignorance are the bards, who tell stories of distant lands, exotic creatures, and brave heroes. This is one such tale.
Hello and welcome to the latest and greatest D&D podcast to hit the internet airwaves, challenge rating 0. I am Sam, the Dungeon Master, and I will be joined in this episode by my longtime friends and adventuring companions, Brian playing Hector the Gatekeeper, Beth playing Rilla Long Shadow, and we all know that fun thing I do with Parker's name, because he plays Zurabak. You are about to listen to part 2 to Adventures in Gatekeeping. This episode was long enough that we split it into 2 separate episodes, so the crew is not here at the moment while I'm recording this intro, but they will be occurring in this episode. To catch everyone up, let us stick to our format. When last we left our heroes, Hector, Rilla, and Zurabak were battling Grimlocks, who had come across their path while they were escorting the bard Sebastian Weaver as well as the merchant Inga Hilltopple and her family through the High Pass, a treacherous route through the mountain range known as the Gate. The normal route has been blocked off by an avalanche, forcing them to take this treacherous frozen path. While traveling, they came across the sign of some dead goats and came across a Grimlock assembling some sort of nasty, gnarly goat shrine made of goat bits. Hector and Zurabak rushed forward to investigate this and were ambushed by a couple of Grimlocks that they are still locked in combat with. Back at the wagons, Rilla Long Shadow was keeping an eye out, and just as a Grimlock sprung out of nowhere to assault the halflings of the Hilltopple family, Rilla heard an ominous rumble from the mountain above her. And so, without further ado, we continue this adventure in gatekeeping. Let's go! Hector and Zurabak, you guys are on a cliff face fighting down a pair of Grimlocks next to this weird fucking, I don't know, goat shrine thing.
I'm just gonna call it goat blob.
The goat blob, sure. Yeah, that's apt. That's very apt. Hector, it is your turn.
So I'm
Wait
not
a minute.
getting a turn?
No, you don't ever get a turn. I don't like you, and your face is weird. No, it's your turn. Go ahead with your turn.
I don't know if I want to now.
I know. Zurabak, please forgive me. It is your turn. The great and powerful Zurabak the Druid, it is your turn in this mountain fight, sir. Go.
I suppose I stabbed the one that swung at me with my spear.
Ooh.
Because it's pointy and hurts.
Well, we can only hope.
15 plus 6. 21?
Oh, 21 will definitely hit a Grimlock. Yeah, you draw your spear and you thrust it forward into the gray flesh of this Grimlock.
11 points of damage.
Oof, dispatched. Nicely done. You hoist your spear and in both hands step forward and stab this thing. You pierce right through its heart. The tip of your spear lancing through its ribs and out its back. You rip it out with a violent flourish and blood spurts from its wounds as it sags down to the snow. Dead. Nicely done. You killed you a Grimlock. How does that make you feel?
I'm going to put it on the goat pile.
Interesting. That's interesting. Hector, it's your turn. There is a Grimlock in front of you. It just cut you with a stone axe.
Yes.
What are you going to do about that?
I'm going to hit it.
Cool.
Does a 24 hit?
A 24 does hit that Grimlock. Yes, sir.
11 points of damage.
Very cool. You swing your maul and smash into this Grimlock, and you just shatter both of its legs. It just flops to the side. All the bones in its legs turn to jelly, and it completely crumples underneath the weight of your swing, falling over completely useless. And it cries out again, this clacking language. And as you guys take these two Grimlocks out, you hear even more of this language sort of bouncing off. So these two Grimlocks came out of these small caves that are just next to either of you. And you hear reverberating out of these caves more of this language from way more voices. It is... No one else jumps out at you guys yet, but you hear a bunch more Grimlocks in there. Zurabak, it's your turn. What do you do?
Think about life.
Okay.
I suppose I chuck my dead Grimlock on the goat pile and move into the cave.
Okay, so are you lightly placing the Grimlock on the goat pile, or are you just chucking him over there unceremoniously?
Hey-yoy.
Okay, you give him the old heave-ho and throw him into this pile of goat parts, and the whole thing like blasts apart. Like it was very poorly built. What you uncover is another Grimlock. You throw this Grimlock into this pile of goats, and its corpse smacks into him, and all these parts like fall and collapse. Some of them tumble off the side of the cliff. Some of them, are just splayed out over the path in front of you. But they uncover. It looks like this was a sort of what do you call it? Like a cairn. Something when you put a bunch of rocks on top of a person's body. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It looked like it was something like that. There is a very large, very heavy-looking, very buff-looking Grimlock, completely covered in blood, laying underneath this pile of gore. And as all of these parts get knocked off of him, he stays still for a moment and then sniffs the frigid air and starts to twitch a little bit. Do you still dive for the cave?
I think he's just very confused. Just about life in general at this point. And he just sort of stares and stands there and does nothing.
Okay. Yeah. You're just drunk on whatever weird shit's going on. Hector, you see this exact same thing.
I am going to attempt to push that shit off the cliff.
You're going to try to bull rush this Grimlock off the cliff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you are going to rush over to this Grimlock and try to bull rush him. You rush over and get all up in his space, and his head snaps to you as he's sniffing the air, and he's going to try to get an opportunity attack because you're coming at him. And he does not. His arm his gigantic, well-muscled arm, completely covered in blood, reaches out at you to grab your throat, and you're able to just bat it aside, and you're in his space. So now let's roll opposed strength checks to see if you can just steamroll this guy off the fucking mountain.
I rage as I went into this.
By the way,
Yep.
I'm raging.
I'm raging right now. This is what
How muscled was he? I raged.
It's very well muscled.
19.
Well, that's very good. He got a 22. So you rush forward and try to just steamroll this motherfucker off the mountain. You run forward and you get your arms under him. You're like, nope, not to. I don't know what you are, but not today. And he lashes out an arm to try to strangle you. You bat it aside, but you're so busy fending off his attack, you're just not able to push him off of the mountain. And that makes it his turn. It makes it the bad guy's turn. This thing is going to get up, which provokes an attack of opportunity if you want to take a swing at him.
I take the attack of opportunity, please. Does a 24 hit?
A 24 does in fact hit. Yes.
Max damage. While I'm raging, that is 18 points of damage.
Holy shit. That is a hell of a hit. Nicely done. Yeah, Hector, you get up with your maul, and in the middle of this blizzard, snow and ice swirling around you in this darkened sky, you take your maul and smash this dude, and you fuck him up pretty good. You swing your maul into his hip, like just center mass, and you hear some cracking. It is definitely fucked up. You cause him to stumble backwards, and he lets out the loudest fucking roar of pain you've heard in quite a while. This deafening, but he doesn't fall down.
The goats have empowered him.
Yeah, and now
Mighty creatures.
Yeah, now he's gonna get the power of the goats. Absolutely. Now he's going to take his turn to do his thing. Which is going to be to, just try to grapple the life right out of you. It's funny, so he stands up, you hit him with your maul, and then he does the thing that really weirds you out, is he seems to rage. His heart grows 3 sizes. He screams out this battle cry, and his muscles get a little bigger, and the veins stand out, and he hunches over under the weight of all this might, and he just throws himself directly at you and tries to grapple you. He puts a hand on you. Okay, what'd you get on your grapple check?
9.
9, yeah.
I rolled a 1.
Yeah, he got 13. So I really thought you were gonna take that one.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I rolled a fucking nat 1.
Oh shit. So now he's gonna do damage right on our strike. Yeah, fuck. Hector, you take 4 points of damage. Like lethal damage, as this dude rushes in. This guy stands up. You tag him on the hip as he's getting off the ground. He stands up and screams to the heavens and swells with might and rushes at you and grabs your neck with both hands and just starts to fucking squeeze the life out of you. Zurabak, it's your turn. This gigantic, apparently barbarian Grimlock is choking the shit out of Hector. What do you do?
Just be amazed at the power of goats for a moment and how they've trained this monster well.
Goats must be powerful creatures indeed.
Zurabak. You got this. You got this. Come on, Zurb.
I'm gonna just calmly walk forward and gonna cast Cure Light Wounds on Hector.
While he's being strangled, that's the best thing ever. Yeah, roll it up. I love that. Zurabak casually walks over and just pats Hector on the back, and
I want to see what the goat man can do.
That's amazing.
I heal you for 9.
Okay.
Cool. So you give him 9 health points. While that's happening, that horrible cackling, chattering sound from the caves that these Grimlocks came from is not getting any louder or closer. It seems like all the Grimlocks have the same game plan. Let's see what this goat man can do. Smash cut to Rilla Longshadow. Rilla, there's a rumbling going on. The path underneath you that you guys are on, you're basically in the same scenario that these guys are in. You're on a 15-foot wide cliff. Mm-hmm. There's one side's just a precipitous drop. The other side's, sheer rock wall. There's like 1.5 feet of snow on the ground. And yeah, this Grimlock is going toe to toe with Olga, and you hear this rumbling sound. The ground underneath you feels like it's shaking. Go ahead and roll me a spot check. Let's see if you can pick out what this is coming from.
13.
Okay. Yeah, it's not too terribly tricky. You look up and you see that way high up, like way high up in the mountain, is what looks like a wall. It looks like a cloud is sort of descending down the mountain directly towards you guys.
Oh God!
It looks like one of these storm clouds from this blizzard is sort of like rocketing down towards your position. And the longer you look at it, the more you realize that it's not a cloud. It's like a wall of snow and ice.
Okay, so I scream "move" at Sebastian fast as you can, and I'm like pointing at what's happening.
Especially, oh my words! Oh my words!
Go!
He snaps the reins, and do you give a signal to anybody else in this?
Yeah, I scream.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I still presumably have an action, right? So I can.
Oh yeah, it's your turn. Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
So I attack that Grimlock.
Cool.
Also, that's better. How about a 17?
Yeah, that definitely hits this creature.
Excellent.
Go ahead and roll damage.
7 points of damage.
Fantastic. That's one dead fucking Grimlock.
Great.
Aced him. So, yeah, you pop up. Hey, we're back to killing shit. Look at you. Killing shit with bows. You pop up on the buckboard and you fire off one test shot, but the fucking wind takes it away. You line up another shot and you hear this rumbling and you see that the top of the fucking mountain is coming down on you all. And you're like, we gotta fucking go. And you just ice this fucking Grimlock as you're rumbling down the path, which clears the way for the rest of the caravan to run him over 8 million times as you guys continue forward. As you go, the rumbling is, of course, steadily getting louder, and now everyone behind you, including Inga, is able to see what is coming at you, and they are all just screaming. All the halflings start doing this weird, like, whooping, like this weird, sort of like a rebel yell thing, just like, whoop, 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 and their dogs are now just booking it fucking hardcore, like they're almost keeping pace.
Good.
With the wagon. You guys are making good time. As you are flying through, you hear a couple of loud thumps on the roof of the wagon behind you. And you turn to look. There are 2 Grimlocks standing on the roof of Sebastian's magical wagon of wonders. And he says, "Not my magical wagon of wonders!" And it's your turn. What do you do?
Curse in Elven, I assume, like immediately, and yell at Sebastian to focus on driving.
I'll do my best. I'm sorry. Hya. That's what I meant to say. I apologize.
Oh man.
The horses respond better to
Yeah.
to whimpering.
They know what that means. Yeah. So I attack again with my longbow.
Cool. Yeah, one of them's like, Sebastian's wagon is like 20 feet long as established in canon, so there's like a 5-foot square between you and the first
18
one.
to hit.
That absolutely hits.
Oh, max damage. So
8. Do you add any bonuses?
I'm within 30 feet, so 9 points.
Oh, you got point blank.
Yes.
Fuck yes!
9 points of
Oh
damage.
yeah, no, you fucking murked that dude. Yeah, no, that's excellent. That's awesome. So you are riding on the buckboard of this wagon in the driver's seat, literally riding shotgun as Sebastian guides his wagon along this cliff, and 2 loud thumps, bump, bump, hit on the roof of the wagon behind you. You hear this, you spin around, and in the space it takes to turn, you knock an arrow, aim, and fire, and point blank, you hit this Grimlock right where its eyeball should be. Just right in that fleshy patch of skin up through its brain, and it spasms and dies and falls off to the precipitous drop to your side. Nicely done. That makes it Sebastian's turn. He fucking drives. That is what he does. And then it is the Grimlock's turn. And this Grimlock is going to attempt a balance check to get up to you. Which it passes with flying colors. And then it is going to try to swing at you with its crude stone axe. Let's see. Well, I got, let's see. I got an 11.
You missed.
Oh, shit! Man, we gotta have you fighting on mountaintops and wagons all the time. Cool, yeah. So it takes a swing at you with this stone axe, and you just duck right under it. Just duck down into the driver's seat. And yeah, it's your turn again. What do you do?
Do I still have space to draw my bow?
He's
Or is he
right
on me.
right on you. So you can, but he's going to provoke an attack of opportunity. Or you can get that fucking sword out.
Yeah, it's just that's gonna be just a roll because
Sure.
I lost my +1.
Sure.
I guess I grab my sword.
Okay, you draw your sword out of desperation.
I rolled a 9.
9 all day?
Well, I've got no bonus.
I got you.
So the
Unfortunately,
fatigue.
unfortunately, that is not quite enough to hit this creature's armor class. So you just fucking ice one of these cats on the roof of this wagon and send him tumbling over the side. The other one lurches up and takes a swing at you with his axe, and you drop your bow, draw your sword, and swing back at him.
I'm not great with this weapon.
No, that's Rilla's turn. Sebastian keeps driving. No, fuck that. He's going to...
Drive you off the cliff.
No, while he's driving, he's going to sing a song. And that song is called Inspire Courage. And you now have +1 to your attack and damage rolls, and you're immune to fear.
Okay.
Well, not
Or you have
immune.
bonuses to fear, but shut up.
Man, if it was immune, that'd be,
Holy
be
crap.
real good.
So while terrified, Sebastian, he's driving this wagon. He takes a minute and he sucks in a breath and he's just like, and then he starts singing. And he sings this old like drinking song. It's like this weird, like the first thing he could think of, just this old drinking song he heard in a tavern somewhere about some guy falling down a well. But you feel emboldened by the quality of his song. He also got like a fucking 28 on his perform check. So it's one
Beautiful.
of it's one of the most beautiful songs you've ever heard. It's like God, it's like an opera singer doing Itsy Bitsy Spider. It's very beautiful and very simple at the same time. So yeah, on your next turn, you get +1 to your attack and damage rolls. The Grimlock is going to take a swing at you real quick, and it got a 16 that time.
Hit.
All right, so it bites into you with its stone axe. You take 3 points of Grimlock damage, and yeah, smash cut 2. Hector and Zurabak. So, Zurabak just healed Hector. Hector, it is your turn. You have a Grimlock Barbarian just choking the fucking life out of you. Just choking you so right. What do you do?
I'd like to break the grapple then.
Okay. So roll a grapple check.
11.
He got 15. So unfortunately that was unsuccessful. So
Yeah.
you try to break this guy's hold on your throat box, but unfortunately he just keeps squeezing. So it is the Grimlock's turn. He is going to try to keep murdering you with his bare hands. Let's see. Does 16 hit your armor
Yeah.
class? Okay. So this guy is still choking the life out of you. He's got his hands around your throat, and he is flexing hard, pressing on that precious, precious Adam's apple of yours, and you take 6 points of damage from this Grimlock's unarmed attacks, and that makes it Zurabak's turn. Zurabak, it is your turn. There is a Grimlock choking the shit out of Hector. What do you do?
Suppose we'll just stab him.
Okay, Zurabak goes up behind this Grimlock and stabs him in the back. What'd you get on your attack roll?
16 plus 6.
16 plus 6 is going to be a hit. Zurabak, you take your spear, and seeing that your poor friend Hector is being throttled to death by this Grimlock, you stab this Grimlock, and you make purchase. What damage do you do?
It would be 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage? Okay. Would be or is?
Is.
Okay. Commit to a time stream, damn you. You can't have it all ways. Yeah, and you fuck this guy up real good. You get your spear in there. You stab him through his bicep, through both of his biceps, because you got the angle on it, and you just rip a bunch of muscle tissue out from his arms. This guy's still on his feet, but he's looking real raggedy. Definitely getting to be on his last legs there, but he still will not stop choking Hector. We're gonna smash cut back to Rilla. Rilla, You are on a speeding wagon that is surging along the side of a cliff and hurtling forward towards where your companions are somewhere. There is a Grimlock directly in front of you that just cut into you with its stone axe. What would you like to do?
I'm going to attack the Grimlock again, because what else can I do?
That's a very good point.
So I swing at it with my longsword. Hey, there we go. That is, I guess the +1 and the -1 just knock each other out. That's a 16.
Fuck yeah, man. That's a hit on a Grimlock. Nicely done. Rilla Longshadow uses her hidden sword mastery skills.
I'm rolling pretty decent damage.
Yeah.
That's 8 points of damage.
Holy shit. That's a dead
I've
Grimlock.
rolled nothing but 7 or 8s.
God damn. Nicely done. Man, Rilla's racking up the body count over there. No,
Yeah.
that's great. So yeah, you are on this crazy rumbling wagon that is charging along the sheer cliff side. And as this Grimlock towers over you and draws its stone axe out of your wound, you take your longsword, and with just the innate knowledge the elven people have of sword play and a couple times you sparred with your baby sister Dare in the wilds, you fucking parry and stab this dude right in the neck. Just boop, get the tip of your sword right in his Adam's apple, and he goes falling off the side of the wagon and tumbles down the cliff. Sebastian says, "That was incredible. Nicely done."
How are we doing with the, I don't know what's an avalanche, so I don't know what to call this. The snow cloud.
Oh dear, you mean the avalanche that's going to
Okay.
kill all of us? Yes, it's not good. It's still, all of it's still there. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to outrun it. Oh, Hector! He screams, and Hector and Zurabak, you see clamoring out of the blizzard, a team of 4 horses with a wagon behind it coming directly at you, fucks. So I'm gonna need the 2 of you to roll reflex saving throws to dive out of the way of this team of horses
Right over the
that
cliff.
is charging down this path.
Oh, that's a good image in my head.
Yeah, it's very good.
6.
Oh God, no. Okay, Zurabak, what'd you get on your reflex saving throw? It's not against poison. Don't even fucking say it.
You just took the wind out of my sails. What am I supposed to do now? 21.
Fuck you! What?
I rolled a 19 plus 2.
Oh my God, the grace of the ages. Zurabak does a one-handed back handspring. Zurabak pirouettes out of the way of these horses. No, here it is. Your connection to the nature, to the, your connection to the natural world. You're like stabbing this Grimlock, and you're like, there are horses in trouble. You take 2 swift steps backward, and they just, like a fucking train, just blasts past you. Hector, you are unfortunately unable to get free. Let's roll for that Grimlock real quick. Oh, the Grimlock did not
He doesn't get his
roll great.
AC.
Yeah,
It's just AC.
Yeah. So, a team of 4 horses smashes directly into you in this Grimlock, smashing into the both of you, and you had aired towards the wall, not the cliff. Is that my understanding?
10 feet
Okay.
from the cliff.
So, yeah. You and this Grimlock just get kind of smushed against the wall of this this mountain, and you're both gonna take some damage from that because you just got hit by a small bus.
They still have Inspire Courage. The
The
horses.
The horses do. So yeah, you both take 12 points of damage because you got hit by a wagon. The Grimlock that was choking you dies outright, murdered by wagon, and you are just sort of like battered, smashed, and dragged against this sheer rock wall. As the wagon's going, Sebastian says as quick as he can to the both of you, "Avalanche, get on! Quick, Avalanche, get on!" Do you guys try to get on to the wagon as it
Yes.
screams past you? Roll me Oh, roll me a strength check to latch on. You're raging. Roll me a strength check to get a hold and latch onto this wagon.
Oh.
What'd you get, bud?
That's a natural 1.
Oh, okay.
7.
All right. Yeah, Zurabak, what's
I
what do you do?
cast Detect Animal Goat. And
You're gonna die up here with the goats.
it's a cone shape emanation, 400 feet plus 40 per level. And I look into the caves with it.
Oh my god.
There's a bunch of goats in those caves.
I go into the caves.
Okay, Zurabak rushes into the cave. Hector, you reach out to grab the wagon, and you grab it for a second, but it's moving so fast, and you just got smashed by it. You can't grab the end of it. Rilla, do you got anything to help your bud get on this wagon?
How fast is the wagon moving?
As fast as these horses will carry it at a full gallop, like 120 feet around. Well, it's in the snow, like 80 feet around.
I can move 40 feet as my base movement action, and I am not impeded by the snow at all. I think at a full run, I'd be able to catch up.
Do you run up to the wagon?
Yeah.
Okay. With your super awesome barbarian,
I'm just
powerful
prepping
runner's
to
legs.
cast Featherfall on him, so if he has to, we can leap off and not die.
Oh, that'd
Well,
be it.
it's not on him. It's just the area around it, so it'd be everyone.
But affect him with the
the
spell.
person who will use it will be him
Yeah, when you all go off the
as
cliff.
a parachute.
which is
if
fucking
needed.
which is fucking dope. I
Yeah.
hope we get to that point. So you are unable to grasp onto the wagon initially, but with your super special magic boots, you just rush right up to it and you grab onto the back and pull yourself up on top of it. Is that what am I imagining that accurately? Cool. So you guys are rumbling on down this path. Hector, go ahead. Hector, as you get on the wagon and you guys blow past this giant pile of like goat viscera, which Sebastian is noisily sick over even as he's driving. Hector, you're finally able to see from your loftier position that there's a full-on Category 10. I don't know if they have categories. That's how gatekeepers. That's the gatekeeper shit. It's like this is the Category 10 like avalanche. Half of the goddamn mountains coming down on you folks. You seem to be luckily starting out at sort of the outer edge of it, but it is bad and it is coming down. Roll a survival check to guide your friends through this past this breakneck pace.
10.
10 altogether.
Yes.
Okay, well, you didn't do bad, just okay, which is
Can
fine.
we roll those two or no? 'Cause we don't-
Yeah, well, you can, Rilla, certainly. Zurabak's on his own private mission to become king of the goats.
I got a 14.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I have no survival skills.
So you guys are thundering along from your position. Hector, even your great skills and Rilla, your woodcraft are a bit ill-equipped to guide a wagon moving at full steam through a blizzard. Even seeing past the team of 4 horses is hard because of all the snow they're kicking up. You are able to point out a couple large looming dangers coming up in your path to weave around, but then you see Helga and Olga on their very swift hounds. It looks like Olga's hopped to a new mount. They just zip out in front of you guys on their dogs, and they use these hand signals to sort of like guide you all back and forth as you guys rattle your way through. Jump cut to Zurabak. Zurabak, you go into the caves, and it is pitch black. There is no light in here, which doesn't matter at all to you because you're a half-orc. So your eyes are able to pick out in grisly detail everything going on in this cave. It goes in for like 10 feet and then sort of broadens out into a larger chamber. There are no less than 15 Grimlocks in this large chamber. They are all milling about, smelling the air, cackling to each other in their strange language. And but it looks like this is a large chamber that's an offshoot of another cavern, and there are what are essentially like murder holes, sort of like blasted through this cave to expose it to the trail, the path you guys were traveling on. So it looks like there's like, a series of other holes deftly covered by snow that these guys were, popping out of. Also in this room, you see penned in a small ring of stalagmites about, 20 goats?
You said goats.
There's like 20 goats. Yeah. There's like 20 goats penned in this small pen, like in the center of this chamber with 15 Grimlocks in it. Now, you didn't stealth in here. You just kind of ran up ins. And so as soon as you jump in this room, there is a resounding...
I shout, I'm here for the goats!
All right. We're going to roll initiative, you and I. And this is going to be interesting. I hope you got some tricks.
I don't.
Oh, he doesn't. What'd you get on your initiative?
I rolled an 18, so 18.
Okay. Well, you go first. Good for you. You're in a large stone chamber, pitch black, full of 15 Grimlocks. There are 20 goats penned in the center, about 30 feet away from your position. This is a large chamber, about 100 feet wide. You can't see that far off because your dark vision's limited, but yeah, it is. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
Not die?
If you'd like to roll some checks to maybe get a better idea of what's going on.
Yeah, so the goats are in the middle in a cage pen area?
Yeah, it's like these Grimlocks have strung up what looks like just some old bits of like wood together to make sort of a pen for these goats.
Okay, and all the Grimlocks are just scattered throughout the room?
Yeah, they're scattered throughout, but they're all paying you very close attention, sniffing the air. You have a very distinctive odor.
Do any of them react when I say I'm here for the goats? As if they understood me, perhaps?
A shudder goes through them, and one of them says,
You want our goats? You can't have them. They're ours.
Are you willing to trade?
What could you possibly have that we'd want besides your flesh?
Gold?
Gold has no value for us. We take what we want, including your life, the lives of all things. The Hidden Ones showed us how to take life and use it to make us strong. You'll not take that from us.
How about I show you another way to be strong?
What do you mean?
The outside, the cold. It bites, it cuts, it howls with strength. I could teach you to be like that. A force of nature.
That's in fiction. Roll a check. Roll a diplomacy check, yeah. Or wait, are you lying? Are you offering to teach this Grimlock how to be a druid?
Yes.
How long does that take, bud?
I don't know.
Okay.
But Zurabak really wants those goats?
Okay. Here's what this comes down to. Are you honestly offering to teach this guy how to be a druid?
Yes.
Okay, that's not deception, it's diplomacy.
Yeah.
Fucking how you're going to do this, I don't know. Roll a diplomacy check.
We'll find out. My charisma is 1 plus 1, so that's a 11.
Yeah, bud. No, bud. Sorry, bud. No.
We harness the power of the storm already. Your friends will die. We'll pick their bones clean. Those that live will use the power the hidden ones gave. We'll be strong. We'll kill.
Strong
all
like the dead goat man outside.
stronger and more of us. But you speak too long. We kill you now.
And talking's a free action. I don't like to fuck around with that, but like, what? It's your turn. You go first. What do you do? Do you have a plan? What do you do?
I guess I'm killing Grimlocks.
Oh, okay.
It's not a great plan.
It's not a good one. There's a bunch right in front of you. What do you? What do you do?
I stab one.
Okay, roll an attack roll.
Does a 12 hit?
A 12 does not hit a Grimlock. No, sir. So you thrust your spear out into the air, and your spear actually glances off the tough, mottled gray hide of this creature. You barely cut into its flesh, and it smiles at you with its needle teeth and rushes you, and so do its homies. I've got a 15.
You're aiming at 12.
Okay, that's a hit. And series wrap on Zurabak because of goats.
Yep.
Let's see. That's a miss, but... Oh, shit. That's... no way. That's also a miss. Okay, that's a hit. So you get hit twice by two of these stone axes as these Grimlocks surge forward and just start cutting into you. You take 5 damage from the first cut, and you take 3 damage from the second one. That is the Grimlock's turn as they... So you wander in, you say, hey, give me those goats. Like, no, fuck off. You're like, I'll give you the secrets of the universe. Huh? They're like, fuck you. And you try to hit one, you miss, then they just swarm you. 4 Grimlocks take swings at you. You're able to fend off 2 of them. 2 of them hit. And smash cut to you guys. So, Zurabak's gone. You really didn't get a chance to see where he went. You assume he jumped in that cave. You look behind you and he was fucking gone. But you guys are on this wagon just raging through this mountain pass with the 5 merchant wagons behind you. You're going at a pretty good clip with Helga and Olga up in front to sort of guide you on their riding dogs. You're going at a pretty good pace and you're avoiding most of the problems. That is until you hear the telltale crack of an axle beneath you. You guys start to falter and slow, and Sebastian says, oh no, oh, it's the worst
I
thing.
jump off the wagon, so it's a 4-wheeled wagon, presumably?
It is a 4-wheeled wagon, yes.
Okay. I can run faster than the wagon was moving. I would like to try and support that 4th position of the wagon and run alongside it.
Oh my god. Okay.
Cartoon character.
Yeah, Rilla, you got anything to help with this particular scenario?
I don't
My
have mend if
lift
that's
off
what you're asking.
ground.
Well,
is-
just, I mean, anything in your bag of tricks, I don't know. Just curious. Okay. So, Hector, you're still raging, I assume?
Yeah, this is 1 turn later. Is that accurate or like what's past here?
I mean, pretty much, yeah, you're
Okay.
you're still raging.
Then,
So, you ran up to get on the wagon, then the axle broke. Now you're just, if I understand this correctly, shouldering the wagon. They're very high wheels, very high axle. It's fine. You throw this corner of the wagon on your shoulder, and you're just running with it? Is that
Yes.
what my understanding? Okay. Roll me the most important strength check ever so far.
17.
Okay. Yeah. What is your strength score when you are raging?
When I am raging, my strength is a 20.
Yeah, that's pretty... Yeah, you're good. Yeah, that's good. That's very good. You hoist this
My strength is a 22. I'm
Okay, I was gonna say.
doing bad math there.
Yeah, no, that's even better. So you hoist this corner of the wagon on your shoulder, and you're just like, fuck, go! Sebastian's like, Rilla, is he holding up the...
Yeah, he is.
Alrighty, snap the horse's rear and buck and run forward. And yeah, Hector, it's hard. It's not easy.
How much longer do you have on your rage?
5 turns.
Not very long. About 10 more seconds. Pretty much.
That's
That's
poor
not
math,
right.
my
I
friend.
know. I don't
It's
care.
30 seconds. Thank you.
I don't give a shit. All right, 30 seconds. You're right. I'm sorry. So yeah, you run. You hoist this corner of the wagon on your shoulder, and you just book it down this fucking path. The people, the halflings in the caravan behind you are just like whooping like crazy. Whoop, whoop. Like crazy seeing you do this shit. And they're like, some of the other outriders like running along beside you, just like fucking, yeah, you got this. Because you're blocking the path, and if this wagon goes down, you're all fucked. And yeah, you guys run it for 10, 20, another 30 seconds. You start to falter a little bit. The rage starts to wear off. Roll me another strength check. So you go fucking Super Saiyan, and you pick this wagon up and you run with it, just in pace with the horses, and then your rage eventually ends and you sag down. And what'd you get?
I rolled an 18 on the dice with my negative. I still have a +3 strength modifier. So that's a 21.
Jesus fuck. And you find a second wind. You falter for half of a step, then you're like, God! And you cry
I am
out.
slowed.
And yeah, you are basically like dragged for 20 more feet, and then the avalanche comes down on all of you. Your world is turned upside down. Everything turns white and then black. There is a rushing of sound in your ears, the clattering of stone, a cacophonous roar as a wall of ice and snow envelop all of you. And that's where we'll end.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hello, and welcome to As the Dice Turns, the podcast after the podcast, where we'd usually take a deep dive into, and all the things that other guy says. It is I, the bard Sebastian Weaver, and it would appear our other protagonists are not available for their normal after-adventure interview, so I've broken into the strange man's studio, and once again it's time for me to get the spotlight and for me to tell a story. Now, if you will allow a bard an opportunity to entertain, this is the tale of the stricken. In the time before the glyph purge, Meosha was full of writers. Scholars, poets, and playwrights scribed countless volumes that they shared with the world. The goddess Narrativa looked on in wonder at what her children created. She would visit them in their dreams and bestow upon them inspiration to fuel their creativity. So it was that mortals came to revere Narrativa as the Great Muse. During this golden age of knowledge, one man arose as the greatest writer in all the land. His prose was legend, from simple fairy tales to epic tragedies. His quill never seemed to stop moving. So widely regarded were his works that he gained the nickname of Narrativa's Chosen. The people of the land spread legends about him, and many wondered if he had the ear of the Great Muse herself. Eventually, the writer came to believe his own legend. He began to tell any who would hear that he was the foremost of Narrativa's servants, her mortal champion. Soon, just being a conduit for her creative force was not enough. He wanted more. He wanted a seat by her side. It was not long before he began to put into motion a plan to do just that. Dark magics brought forth from suffering and plight made manifest his will. He cut his way into the lofty plane in which the gods reside, carving into the tapestry of creation itself to stand before Narrativa. But she saw the terror and darkness that the writer had caused to achieve his end. She was disgusted by the darkness inside of him. As punishment for breaking the laws of reality and tearing the tapestry that made the world, Narrativa banished the rider to the void, the darkness beyond all of creation. However, as she cast him out of the divine realm, he stretched out his hand to her. He closed his fist around a single strand of her hair, tearing it from her head. This small piece of her divine essence was the only thing he took with him as he floated in the endless void. And it was enough. With this sliver of the goddess, he was able to reach across the expanse of the void and force his will onto the tapestry in which we reside. Calling all of the arcane might at his disposal, he laid the glyph purge over all Myosha. If he could not sit beside the goddess of stories, then no mortal could read a story for the rest of time. When Narrativa's clerics asked her who was responsible for this, she would not tell them. Let his name be stricken from history, that none may exalt him or his grim works. And so he was known forevermore as the Stricken. That is his tale. The man who plunged the world into a dark age of superstition and separation. The man who demanded a seat in the halls of the gods and blighted the world with ignorance. His pride was the doom of all the world. That is what the bards fight against. That is what the lore masters safeguard against. And that is what we quest for now. To end this dread curse and to lay the Stricken's legacy to rest. Thank you for listening to an indulgent bard's tale. This has been As the Dice Turns, the podcast after the podcast, where sometimes a bard breaks into the studio and tells you a very long story. We thank you as always for listening to this little show that I sometimes hijack. And until next time, what does he say? Keep those dice dicing. Hey there, folks. Thanks for listening to Challenge Rating Zero. Got a little bit of housekeeping here at the end. As usual, the music for our show, especially our lovely theme song, was provided by the harp wolf, Danielle Williams. You can find her music at danielletaylorharp.bandcamp.com. She has a wonderful album called Why Are We Surprised When Seasons Change? Again, you can find her amazing music at danielletaylorharp.bandcamp.com. Also want to give a shout out to the Blinders Off podcast, friends of the show and another lovely, amazing local podcast. You can find them at blindersoff.show or find them on Facebook, on Instagram, find their Twitter, Blinders Off Podcast. They are very, very good, and they run an introduction to podcasting class. That's where I learned how to make this show. If you would like to get tickets, you can get a discount by using the coupon code CAST. Again, if you'd like to get tickets to the Blinders Off Podcast Introduction to Podcasting class, you can enter the coupon code CAST when you purchase your tickets on Eventbrite. You can find more information about their classes on blindersoff.show or on the Blinders Off Facebook page. Hey, we have a Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook at Challenge Rating Zero, where we have all of the information for the public events that we do. Brian and myself do a regular public event at Apotheosis Comics and Lounge on South Grand here in wonderful St. Louis, Missouri. We pair a custom written one-shot of Brian and my own creation and pair it with a local beer, usually provided by Four Hands Brewery. So if you would like to come visit Brian and myself, see us in person, play some Dungeons and Dragons with some lovely strangers and have a couple beers, you can find more information on our Drinks and Dragons event at the Challenge Rating Zero Facebook page. That is now a monthly event. The next one is January 17th, so please come by and see us. Also, if you would like to send in questions for As the Dice Turns and get some deep, thought-provoking answers from our protagonists, you can email us questions at our email address. Fancy that. Challenge Rating Zero, all one word. That is Challenge Rating ZER, the letter O, at gmail.com. And put As the Dice Turns in the subject line. We'd love to hear what you listeners are curious about with our protagonists. If we like your question, we will read it on the show. Thank you all so much for listening. We certainly appreciate you stopping by our little feed here, and we'll keep the story coming. So see you next time.